Good evening, everyone. I'm Laura Ingraham. This is the Ingraham Angle from Washington tonight. The first ever television interview with one of Elon Musk's Doge deputies. He joins us alongside Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on how they're teaming up to try to trim the fat. Plus, Governor Ron DeSantis, Lara Trump, they'll stop by. They'll be here in moments. But first, left out and losing big. That's the focus of tonight's angle. In case you hadn't noticed, Democrats are a little unhappy. The faces and voices tell the tale.
We have people going to the Republican districts and going after these Republicans.
I'm so mad. I'm spitting mad.
If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
And their activist base apparently wants even more anger, and they want even more resistance. The facial anger is not enough. Well, sure, they're angry because their freebies and their boondoggles are coming to an end, but so far, the government cuts, considering the massive size of the overall federal budget, are fairly reasonable and actually pretty small. And let's not forget, Presidents Clinton and Biden, they sounded very dogy in the past, even President Obama.
Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions. And that includes cutting back on billions of dollars in programs that a lot of people care about. But what should be easy is getting rid of the pointless waste and stupid spending that doesn't benefit anybody.
It sounds like he could work for Doge. A Democrat worried about the deficit and interested in eliminating the federal fat? What happened to their party? Sounded so reasonable. But why are so many acting out then? Their behavior ranges from being just adolescent to criminal, even terrorizing. But what's really triggering them? Well, Politico unwittingly staggers to an answer today, and their playbook feature titled The War on Liberal America. Beyond the economic impact of the agenda, Trump agenda, which will be eventually very positive, is the cultural impact he's having. And this goes right to the beating heart of 40 years of liberalism. While liberals see cultural vandalism, some conservatives, Politico writes, see a long overdue correction. It's clear that many of Trump's changes are going to be permanent. No serious Democratic candidate for 2028 will come in pledging to reverse every cut. The world has changed, they write, before our eyes since January 20th. You bet it has. Trump back in the White House means sweeping reform and, in some cases, the annihilation of the left's sacred cows. From DEI to the U.S. Department of Education, lavish foreign aid, trans athletes and women's sports, even the performing arts at the Kennedy Center, where I'm now a new board member. Now, Trump knows that while business may be, while the business of America is business, in order to affect lasting change, you also need a dramatic cultural shift to occur. For a while now, we've seen some signs of a spiritual awakening, and it's usually happening on college campuses with the revivals. And that's wonderful, but we have to start so much earlier than that to really make a change. And Republicans, going back to Reagan, they promised to tackle the federal stranglehold on education. But it never happened until Trump.
We're going to be returning education very simply back to the states where it belongs, and this is a very popular thing to do, but much more importantly, it's a common sense thing to do, and it's going to work. Absolutely, it's going to work.
Now, since the department was established, we've spent $3 trillion on education. And the results? Well, not good. Poor test performance, less proficiency in reading and math. We've done a huge disservice to our kids. Of course, Democrats prefer it that way. They prefer the status quo because, sadly, most of them don't care if our kids aren't learning. As long as the propaganda machines, their propaganda machines, continue to hum, as long as their educrat supporters are well paid to develop programs that don't educate our kids. Of course, liberals can't really defend the Department of Education's report card. That's really difficult. But they can work themselves into a frenzy for a crowd.
We are here together because an extreme concentration of power and corruption is taking over this country like never before. I want you to look at every level of office around and support brawlers who fight, because those are the ones who can actually win against Republicans.
Yes, that's a 2028 contender, my friends, spouting typical squad nonsense. And speaking of nonsense,
our job is not to destroy public education. It is to significantly improve it.
Nobody wants this. Nobody in America wants the destruction of public education.
Taking a chainsaw to the Department of Education and undermining its mission to educate our next generation would be horrible for our schools, our families, the children.
of course, that's all of it. Everything they said is preposterous.
It's not just the money, it's the control, how those dollars are spent. This isn't just a MAGA idea, guys. This is empowering parents, teachers, that better communication at the local level, driving curriculum at a localized level for the needs of that community.
Think about it. Why is that a threat to the left? Because they want states and school boards and parents and textbook publishers to have as little control over children's education as humanly possible. And it's not just that. They need the gravy train to keep their members fat and happy. Now, if you're like me, you get tired of your kids having to miss school because teachers take what's called a professional development day. Now, why do they take professional development days? Because the Department of Education sends $2 billion a year to the states to fund these sessions. Now, it beats having to teach kids who can't read how to read. But today is a milestone. For decades, the Department of Education belonged lock, stock, and barrel to the left. Well, that's over. With his executive order, President Trump delivered a major blow to the liberal monopoly on the culture. And the few smart Democrats left in the party will watch and learn, as the crazies who make the headlines and get the clicks will just keep spitting into the headwinds. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.